Good evening. In previous session, we have seen one of the pattern example. So now let us see one more pattern example. So that before that, I will explain a small logic about the pattern example. So I want to print equilateral triangle. So what is meant by equilateral triangle? For example, I'm going to consider here star, star. Okay, this is the, for example, I'm going to take 5 stars. This is the pattern I require. Okay, this is what equilateral triangle. Okay, I want to print this type of pattern. So first thing we have to observe is what? How many stars are there here? Finally, we have to see 5 stars are there here. So first thing we have to think what? First we have to observe about number of rows we are going to have. How many rows we are going to have here? I am having 5 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So first for loop I have to write what? Only for 5. Okay. So what we have to write for? I in range of. So for I in range of, for example, 1 comma n value is what? For example, I'm going to consider 5. So 1 comma, how many values I require? Up to 5. So that in range I can take n plus 1. So that it will take only up to 1 to 5. This is about rows. Now I want to print columns. So what about columns? Here I have to consider 1 minute. Okay. So here I want to consider what? I want to consider about columns. In each and every column, what we are going to have? In first column, we are going to have what? 4 spaces. See, this is the thing you have to observe here. Okay. Okay. See here. This is the first column. Sorry. This is the first column. This is the, here we are having space, next one, and so on we are going to have. So from here to this star, how many spaces are there? We have to observe. So once, let us consider here 4 spaces are there. Okay, that means what? Before first star I require how many spaces? 4 spaces. So before it we are having 1. That means what? 1 space is going to be reduced here. That means what? Here 3 spaces, here 2 spaces, here 1 space, here 0 space we require. So based on that we have to write the logic. Okay, so for 4 spaces what I have to write? We have to observe here. Okay, so I'm going to write print. First I have to print what? 4 spaces here. How we get 4 here? For example, what is the value of this 5 here? Sorry, n here 5. What is the value of I here? 1 in first case. So 5 minus 1 is what? 4. So I'm going to consider, for example, what I have to print? I have to print a space. So I'm going to consider one space here into how many times it has to print first, and let us consider I'm going to take n minus I. Let us check whether the logic is correct or not. So first n minus I. In first loop, what is going to happen? 4 spaces. In next loop, what is going to happen? I value will be 2, 3 spaces. So we require same. Next time, what happens? I value equal to 3. So 5 minus 3, 2. Next time, 5 minus 4, 1. Next time, 5 minus 5, 0. So the logic is correct. For spaces, it is correct. Now the thing is, okay, let us take up to here. Next, what I have to print? I want to print stars. How many stars are there? Only 1 star is there. Okay, I will take only, for example, 1 star. Next loop, how many stars should be there? 2 stars should be there. So based on what we are going to consider here, first time I value equal to 1, so 1 star. Next time I value equal to 2, so 2 stars. I value equal to 3, 3 stars, and so on. So I'm going to write into I times. Okay, this is the case, but here we have to observe something. After this star we are going to get what? Space. So here space should be there. Here or before we can write, no problem. Here space should be there. So if I print this one, what happens? Every time I'm going to print space. If I end here, what happens? For every space it will go to new line. So that I don't want to go to new line. I want to end with a, I don't want to end with I want to end with what? Some space or some empty. So this is the program I am going to execute now. So we are going to get the uh, output as a equilateral triangle pattern. Okay, so already I have written in yesterday only. So you can observe here. So see, so 1 to n, you can observe here what we have to take. Space we have to take. If I am not going to take space, what is going to happen? Let us see. So you can see a 5. So equilateral triangle we got. Let us take 6. Oh, sorry. Okay, here I'm going to consider. Okay, I'm going to 6. What we are going to get? 6 stars we are going to get equilateral triangle. Here what we have to observe, see here what is the case, 4 spaces. Okay, next 3 spaces, 2 spaces, 1 space, 0 space. So here I want to get a space after a star, so that I have kept what, star space. Here star space. If I'm going to remove, for example, if I'm going to remove this one, let us see what will be the output. So I will take 5. So see what happened here, we are not getting the correct equilateral triangle. Sir, can we take space in before star? Yes, we can take, no problem. You can observe the output. We will get the equilateral triangle, but the small difference is what, in front of this one, last one is also what, space. So no problem, this is also an equilateral triangle. So remember one thing, that not only this logic, we can write many different logics to do any program, not only this pattern program. For every program we are going to have multiple logics. So but we should know how to write a program, that's it. Logic is different, programming is different. First we have to understand about logic. So based by using the programming, we have to implement that logic. Okay, logic can be different, no problem. That means what, implementation can be different, but logic is same. Okay, right. So this is about nested loops. So now let us go to next control statements, that is what, transfer statements. Okay, so with this I am going to stop the examples. If you want to see the pattern examples later, I will show you some more pattern examples while we are discussing about strings. Okay, right. Now I am going to show you about transfer statements. So in transfer statements we are having mainly break and continue. Okay, so first, no need of understanding in a programmatic way. Let us think in English meaning. Break means what? Let us consider. This is a road, for example. Okay, here we are having some speed breaker. Okay, that means what happened? The vehicle which is coming from this side has to break its speed. Break its speed. That means what? It is going to do the something that is nothing but driving here. It comes here and it is going to break the speed. That means this is used to break speed. Okay, that means what, here we have to break the speed and we will cross this one, and again we are going to do the same thing. Here we have to observe this thing, why we are calling it as a speed breaker. Reason is it is going to break the speed. In the same way, where we are going to use this break in our programming means, if let us consider, if some condition is there, here I am going to write break. Okay, directly I will say, so if you want to break, or if you, let us consider, this keyword terminates the innermost loop. That means what, if any condition is going to be true, inside that if you are going to write a break, that particular loop is going to be we are going to get out of that loop. Okay, I will show you one small example so that you will get a clarity. Okay, so just you should know about meaning of the break, that's it. Right, now I am going to write a small program for I in range of 10. For example, I'm going to take 10 values, or it will take up to 9, from 0 to 9. Now I don't want the value, for example, I from up to 7 only I want to print. Okay, right. If I equal to 7, I want to print, for example, value is 7, break the loop. That means what, up to 6 I want to print. If 7 is there, I want to break the loop from there, so that otherwise I don't want to write this one. Okay, directly I will write break. That means what, it will execute up to 6 values, and if 7 is there, it will go to break and it is going to break that one. Okay, just I will print I here, for example. Now you have to understand this one. So for I in range of 10, that means it is going to execute how many times? This particular statement loop is going to execute from 0 to 9. Okay, because here what happens, up to 10, so the range is, the values are from 0 to 9. Okay, we will come inside here. First time, sorry, here I have to write. Okay, right. Now see, what is the I value initially? 0. Is I equal to 7? No. So it will print what? I value, that is 0. Next time 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, up to 6 it will print, no problem. Now I equal to 7. Okay. Now what happens? It is going to break this loop. That means it is going to enter into this one. It will come out of this one. Okay. That means what, it is going to terminate. You can observe clearly here. So see how many values are going to be printed here? Only 6 values, because I have applied what? Break. If I apply break, it will come out of that loop. Okay. So this is about a break. Now one more example I am going to consider here. I will take a, for example, I want to buy some items from a Flipkart, for example, some e-cart. So I am going to add my what I will say, items in my basket, for example, or cart. So I'm writing some values here, some 20, 450 or 500 and comma. That means what, here today we are going to have one small offer. That offer is what? If you want to buy any number of items, or let us consider 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 items, you can buy 6 items which is less than 500. That means what? You can buy a 6 items which cost less than rupees 500. So that I have added 6 items in my basket or cart. So I have added what? 500 also. Let us take 550 here. Okay. If you are going to add any other value, we should not add that one. Okay. Other than that means if you are going to add any item more than 500, it should not be done. Okay. But I have added here. Let us see what is going to be happen. So first I have to check what? All the items from your cart. So items in cart, item in cart. Okay. What I have to do? I want to check whether the item is greater than 500 or not. So item is greater than 500 or not. If 500 is there, what I have to do? It should not be processed. So I will write what? Print. This will not be processed. This will not be processed. Reason is what? I will tell reason also. Because the item is more than 500. Just I will write this reason. Okay. Right. After that, what I am going to do? Break I have to apply. Okay. So here I am going to apply break. Right. Whenever it sees the item more than 500, it will stop the process. If it is not going to see the item which is more than 500, it will continue total process. Okay. So until it sees the what I say, item cost less than 500, it will consider it. Okay. So I will write what here? Item is processed. For example, item is processed. Let us take, it is a billing system. Let us consider this is what item, which item it is, it will say. So listen carefully. Okay, I will take this one as a, I will give the values. Okay, so I will write eval and I will write input of, enter the list of items, enter the cost of items in a list. Okay, enter the cost of the items. So now see here, this program you can understand easily. So first line, what I'm going to do? I'm going to take some list of items. If the item is more than 500, it should not be processed, because I have given you an offer. What? You can add an item. Okay, let us take, you can add any number of items which is not more than 500. Whenever you are going to add an item which is greater than 500, it will not be processed. The process will be stopped there itself. Okay, now see, let us try this program. Okay, what it is asking, enter the list of items. I am giving some 10, 256, 489, some item costs. These are 62, 365. Let us take only these values. Let us consider. So what happened? All items are processed, no problem. Okay, let us take one small example also. Okay, right. One more example. One more case I am going to consider here. So what happens here? Again, I'm going to take some items here. So where I'm having some 42 rupees, 65, 89, 56, 524, 560, okay, anyway, 69, 256, and so on. Okay, these are the values I'm going to consider. Will all the items are going to be processed? No. Whenever we are going to get an item which is greater than 524, the process has to be stopped. Okay, so now let us see the items, what is going to be happen here. So what happened? Item 42 process, 65 process, 89 process, 56 processed. You may think that, sir, why the 69 and 256 is not processed? Reason is what? Before these two items, we got an item which is more than 500, so that I'm going to stop that process. Okay, that means what? Whenever you want to terminate from a loop, then we have to use what? Break. So with these two examples, you can understand about how break is going to be added, used. Okay, right. Now I want to discuss about, so see, whenever we are getting into this one, whenever I am going to say break, what happens? We are getting out of the loop. Okay, that means what? If this particular break keyword terminates the innermost loop, that means what? Transferring the execution from the first statement after that loop. Okay, with this break statement, we can stop the loop even if the while condition is true. Also, if you are applying a break, we will get out of that while loop. Okay, right. Now let us consider continue statement. This is about a break. So continue means what? Break means we are going to terminate the loop. Okay, when we are going to execute a break, that particular loop is going to be particular loop is going to be terminated. Next case is what? Continue. If you want to skip some loop, that means what? Skip some iteration, then I have to go for continue. Well, I will take one small example for that. So I'm going to take group of items. So same example I will consider. Okay, anyway, I will consider the same example. But here what happens, sir? What happened here if I take I have taken list of items. See here, I have taken here list of items. So here I want to process these things also, sir, but this thing should not be processed. That means what? Item 524 should not be processed, sir. 69 and 256 should be processed, because what? This item is more than 524. Just leave that item, sir. I don't want to process that one. Remaining should be processed. So just I will modify small see here, right? What I will do, just I will say continue here. Nothing is going to be modified here. Just I will say continue here. What I will write? This item will not be processed because the item cost is, let us consider, cost is more than 500. Let us take that is, I will write the value also, that is where the value is in item. Okay, now see, you can understand clearly. So I will take list of items here. Same values I will take: 42, some 65, 89, some 56, 524. Here what should be happened? Except the 524, remaining all should be processed. Okay, now see. So see what happened here. Whenever we got 524, it is going to tell you what? This will not be processed because the item cost is more than 500, that is 524. Remaining items are processed. But in before case, what happens? Whenever that item is going to be try to process that item, at that particular point it is going to terminate. But here what happens? We are not going to access this one, we are going for next item. That means what? That particular iteration is going to be skipped. Okay, that means what? Whenever a continuous statement is encountered in any loop, okay, then what happens? The execution flow skips that current iteration and it will go to next iteration. I will show you clearly here. So here if you see what happens, let us take some items here: 30, 40, okay, 5, okay, 505, 300, 200, for example. I'm going to take some items here. So now observe clearly here. First item in cart. What is the item in cart? 30. So is it below the 500? Okay, it can be processed or not? Yes, it can be processed. So is item greater than 500? No. So we'll come here, item is processed. Next one, 40 will be processed. Now let us consider this one, 505. Now tell me what this 505 should not be processed. That means what? This should be skipped. This should be skipped. It should not be considered. We have to go to next item. So what I have written here, continue. That means what? This particular, if you don't want to print this one also, no problem. Okay, just for information, I have printed this one. So just it is going to do what? Skip. And again it will go to what? It is going to continue for next iteration. But in before case, what happened? At that particular point, iteration is going to be break. That for loop is going to be break. Okay. Now what happens here? Item greater than 500. Yes, it is 500. So that I will say what? Continue. Don't do anything. Just I will print some statement. I will say what? Continue. Continue means what? The task will be continued. It will go to next loop. That means what? Next value 300 will be taken. So again it will come to here. Is 300 is greater than 500? No. So that it will process. Next one, it will 200 also it will process. So just one point we have to understand about continue is just we are going to use continue for to skip the current iteration. If you want to skip any iteration, then we can use a continue. If you want to break the loop, then I have to go for what? Break statement. So I will take a small example, one more example, so that you will get a clarity on that. Okay, now see. So here I am going to take some numbers directly here. So I want to perform a division. So if you are going to perform a division for any numbers, which division is not possible generally? So every value can be divided except by 0. If you are going to divide any number by 0, we are going to get what? I'm going to get an exception saying 0 division error. Okay, so that whenever 0 is going to be arrived, at that time what I have to do? I have to skip that one. Okay, because what? I cannot perform addition for that 0. Sorry, not addition, division by that 0. I will try now. So for every value in numbers, okay, what I have to do? If n value equal to 0, I should not do division. If n equal to 0, I want to do what? I don't want to perform anything here. Okay, so just what I will write continue here. So before that, what I will say, just I want to intimate the programmer that this is going, it will not perform division. Okay, reason is what? The value is what? 0. Division by 0. Let's just I will take reason is the value is 0. Okay, let us take a small example. Now just I will write what? Continue. Okay, now if it is not the case, what I have to do? I want to perform a division operation by 2, for example. Sorry, these numbers are going to be considered. I want to divide 1000 with these numbers, for example. So what I am going to do? Just I have let a statement that is print statement. Just what I have to do? I want to divide. Sorry, I want to divide some 1000 by some value. That value I will specify there equal to something. Okay, right. Now I will write a format function here. Format of n, whatever the value we are going to have, n, comma, I will write 1000 by n. So this is nothing but what? I am going to divide the value with 1000 with n value. That means all these values. When it should not be performed, whenever 0 is there, at that time it should not perform division. So that I have written this one. So let us see without this. For example, I am not going to take this continue. Let us see what happens here. Okay. No, so I am not going to take this one. So I will execute the program now. So see what happens. It is going to give up to 36. It has performed what? Some division it has performed, no problem. But whenever we are going to get 0, what I am doing? What it is going to do? It is printing this message and it's going to give you an error. Okay. Now to avoid this type of errors, what I will do? Just I will skip that iteration. So if I write continue, what happens? It will not come to this one in that iteration. It will go back to next iteration. See, if I write continue, what happens? It will skip that one. That means it will not go to this one. It will go to next iteration. So see, if I write this Execution, what happens? It is going to except for 0. See, it will not perform division by 0. Reason is the value is 0. So remaining all cases it is going to execute. That means to skip a particular iteration we have to use what? Continue. But to break the loop we have to use what? Break statement. Okay, so this is about break and continue statements. So once again I am repeating, when we are going to use break means if you want to break the loop, that means based on some condition, if we want to break that loop, then we are going to use the break statement. That means if we want to get out of that loop, then we have to use what? Break statement. What about continue? If we want to skip any particular loop, that means if you want to skip the one iteration, then I have to use what? Continue. So I will take a small example so that you will get more clarity. Just a small example. Just I want to print odd numbers. Just I want to print what? Odd numbers. So that I will take range of 10. So odd numbers means what? Sorry. Odd numbers means what? Which is not divided by 0. So I will write one condition that if I divided by, sorry, modulo 2 equal to 0, if this condition is satisfied, that is nothing but what? Even number. But what I am trying to, I want only odd numbers. Just I will write what? Print of I. So small example which makes you clear about this continue. So here what happens? See here. Sorry for this one. For I in range of 10, that means for every value from 0 to 9, it will come into this one. If this condition is going to be true, that particular statement is going to be skipped. Let us take one example. 0 modulo 2 is equal to 0 or not? Yes. So that it will continue. It will not go to print statement. That means we are going to skip this one. I will go to next value. Next value is what? Next value is 1. 1 modulo 2 is it equal to 0? No. So that it will not go to continue. That means I'm not going to skip that iteration. I want to print that value. That value is what? 1. Next one, 2. 2 modulo 2 equal to 0. Yes. So it will continue. It will not go to this print statement and so on. That means only which values are going to be printed here? Only odd values are going to be printed. Sir, I want even what we can say? Even numbers are just modify equal to not equal to as not equal to. Then you are going to get what? Only even numbers. Okay. So this is about odd and this is about break and continue. So now we are going to have one more thing, that is pass. Pass statement is there. So before going to pass, just I will briefly discuss about the break and these loops. Once again I will discuss about loops and break and continue statements. Right now, what is the difference between for and while? Before going to that, before going to next concept, I'll show you that. So what is the difference between for and while? So for executing a body for every item in the given sequence, that means if you want to execute every item in this loop, for example, for I in range of 10, that means range of 10 is nothing but what? It will take from 0 to 9. For every value in this range, if I want to perform anything, then I have to go for loop. Okay. Otherwise, let us say if we want to execute until the condition is true, then I have to go for while loop. Okay. Then I have to go for what? While loop. Next, this is about for and while. Let us see briefly about break. So if you want to exit from a loop, for example, if you want to exit from a loop, then I have to use which statement? It is nothing but break. If you want to skip an iteration and continue for next iteration, I have to use which statement? Continue statement. Okay. Already we have seen if and else also. There I will show you. That one I will discuss. When else part will be executed in if and else? If the condition is, when else case will be executed? If the condition is false. If the condition is false, then else will be executed. Okay. So this is briefly about your conditional statements, control statements. Now I'm going to show you one more statement, that is what past statement. In the name it says what? Past. For example, past is there. So it is a very common word. Okay, that means what? For example, let us take a group of people here. Okay, here one more person is there who is asking questions. Okay, so he is asking a question to this particular who is our prime minister, to a person 1, person 2, person 3, person 4. Then what happens? He don't know who is our prime minister. He will say what? Pass. That means what? The question will be passed to other person. Next, if he don't know, he is going to tell pass. If he don't know, he will tell to he is going to tell what? Pass. That means what? If you are not having, if you are, for in this case, if you are not having the answer, you are telling what? Pass. In the same way, if you are not going to have anything to write, then I am going to use past statement. Just remember that if you are not having anything to write in your program, then I am going to use a statement called as what? Past statement. We can also consider it as a null statement. That means what? It indicates what? Nothing is there. Okay, once again I'm repeating the same thing. If you don't have anything to write in your code, that means so it may be class, it may be function, it may be for loop, or it may be anything. There I am going to use a statement called as what? Past statement. Okay, right. Now I will take a small example for this past statement so that you will get a clarity. So I will show you the cases where this past statement can be used. So for example, I'm going to consider a sequence. Otherwise, s equal to, I'm going to consider some string here for I in S. Let us consider I don't want to do anything. Let us take. Okay, just what I will write? Pass. Let us save this one and execute. What will be the output? Nothing is going to be printed because I am not going to do anything. If I don't want to do anything in a for loop or anywhere, I will use what? Pass statement. Okay, here what happens? If sir, what is the need of writing here pass? If you just leave in this way, what happens? What is the need of using pass? Means if I save the program in this way also, what you will think? Sir, in this way also nothing is there to print in our for loop. It will also give you no output. Okay, now see. So it will give you some error. See here, unexpected end of EOF while parsing. So that it is compulsory to write some statement for. Okay, so that not only for some all the control statements, so that I am going to write what? Pass. So that your compiler will understand what? If pass statement is going to be encountered, just I should not do anything. That indicates what? Nobody is present for this for loop. Not only for loop, wherever you are going to write pass, it indicates what? Nothing is there to execute. So this is one of the case. I will take in functions also. For example, function sample. Okay, I'm going to define this one, function sample. If I leave this one as it is, what you can observe here? You can observe what? Okay, this particular sample function is not going to have anything to execute. If I write this one, see what happens. So I will execute here so that you will get a exact errors. You can see exact error names here. Okay, okay, now see. So see here what it is going to show: unexpected EOF while parsing. Okay, right. Now if I write pass statement here, see, if I write pass statement, it will not give you any errors. See, is it giving any error? No. Reason is what? It understands that this function is not going to have any body. Once if you are going to write this one, this colon anywhere, compulsory some statement should be there after that, because this colon tells you what? This colon tells you that it is going to, you are going to write something after this colon. Okay, so that if you keep a colon, or wherever you are going to keep a colon, it expects something under that line. If you are not going to write anything, it will give you what? Some error. So that if you write pass, it can understand what? Okay, this particular function is not going to have any body. Okay, In the same way, we can also apply the same case. If your class is not going to have in object-oriented program, we will see this one. If your class is not going to have anything, if I save in this way and if I execute this program, we are going to get what? Error. Okay. So that at least I have to use what? Pass statement. Pass statement means what? It indicates that your program does not have anything to execute. Okay. Now see. Right. There is no error. Okay. So I will take a small example for this one so that you will get a clarity on that one by taking one program. So see here, just I want to print a even numbers. I don't want to use else case. Let us show you. I want to show you that I will take the numbers from 1 to 9 or 1 to, for example, 1 to 10 I want to take, so that I will take 1 comma 11. So I want to print the odd numbers from 1 to 10, so that in this way I can take for loop. So here what I'm going to do, just I'm going to take if I modulo 2 equal, this indicates what? Even numbers. If it is an even number, I want to print that, so that I will print, no problem. Now if I execute this program, you will get a even numbers, no problem, it is correct. So my question is, sir, some student asked me that, sir, use else also, sir. Use else also, but I don't want to write anything in that else. If I take in this way, what happens? It will tell you what? You are taking else case and you are telling that there will be some statements in it, so that you are going to get what? You are going to get an error. So just I will write what here? Pass. Okay. If you write pass, that indicates what? Nothing is there in your else statement. Okay. So this is about pass statement. So when we have to use this pass statement, if you want to tell to the interpreter that my particular block is not having any code, then you can use what? Pass. You may get some doubt that, sir, if you're going to write a comment also, it is going to do nothing. Let us differentiate a comment and say I want to differentiate between comment and pass. What is the difference between comment versus pass? So whenever you are going to write pass, it will be considered by interpreter. Interpreter can understand that. Interpreter can understand that what it is going to do, it will skip that. It knows that it is not having any body. It is not having any body. It understands that it is not having any body, and it will not execute that one. What about comment? Your interpreter will not consider it. That means what? Your interpreter is going to ignore it. Okay. So it will be ignored by the interpreter. It is not going to be ignored by interpreter. It can understand what is it, so that it indicates what? That particular block or function or class, or it may be anything. Pass indicates what? That is not having any body. What about comment? Comment is going to be ignored by the interpreter. This is a small difference between your pass and comment. In the same way, you can also say pass as a what? If you write pass, it indicates what? No operation is going to be performed. So directly we can say what? NOP, no operation. If you know about some assembly level language, you can understand about what is meant by no operation. NOP. Okay. Right. It indicates what? Nothing is going to be performed. So this is about pass statement. So one more last concept about this control statements, or by using this if else and all those concepts. So now I want to use once again else. Sir, you have discussed about else with if. Is there any place we can use else by using other control statements? Yes, that is by using the loops also we can use this else case. How we can use? Let us see. That means we can also use else with loops. Okay, that loops are nothing but what? For loop and while loop. Okay, so this is very important point to understand. Reason is this type of concepts is not present in our C, C++ and Java. So you have to understand this one. So before going to the concept, I will give you the clarity on this one. When this else concept is going to be applied in the loops. Okay, very important point. This point has to be understood. Inside a loop execution, that means if break statement, if this statement is understood by you, no need of understanding any program. If break statement is not executed, if break statement is not executed, then else will be executed, else will be executed. This one statement, if you understand, I will go to the program. Just understand this one. If break statement is not executed in a loop, then else statement is going to be executed. Okay, just I will let a small program so that you will get a clarity on this one also. Okay, now see, just I will take 3 or 4 lines of a program. So I equal to 0 I'm going to consider. So while loop I am going to consider. So while I less than 5, for example, for I less than 5, I want to do what? I want to print high. That means 5 times I want to print high. Just I will write this statement, that's it. Just I will write I plus equal to 1. Now what happens? This loop is going to be executed 5 times. Now I want to write else case also. So if I first I will execute this one. So see what happens, 5 times high is going to printed, there is no doubt. Now I want to use this else case. Else what I have to do? I have to write some other thing. Okay, just I want to print, just I will print this is else block. Okay, this is else block. Okay, now see, right? So see, this is else block is executed. Reason is what? What is the statement I have written here? If break statement is not executed in a loop, then else will be executed. Now tell me one point, that is there any break in your while loop? Not there. So automatically else statement will be executed. Just I will modify this program by keeping a break in your program. If I less than 5, okay, just I will write if I less than 5, 1 minute. Okay, if I less than 5, and here I am going to write if I equal to let us take 4, I will write what? Break. Now what happens in the while loop? Will this break is going to be executed or not? Yes, it will be executed. So else block will not be executed. So see this case, high executed 4 times, else block is not executed. Let us consider this is not there. What happens? Automatically, sorry, break is there. Now if break is there in your program, but it is not going to execute. If I equal to 6, will the I equal to 6 will be true anywhere in this while loop? No. Now see F5. So what happens? Else block is executed. Reason is, see here, I less than 5. So is first time I is what? 0. First time I equal to 0. 0 less than 5. Okay. Is I equal to 6? No. It will print high. It will increment. Next what happens? 1, 2, 3, 4. Next I value will be 5. 5 less than 5. What happens? This while loop condition is failed. This condition is failed. That means entire the control comes out of this while loop. Okay, that means what? Did we execute break statement in this while loop? No. Then automatically else statement is going to be executed. So this is about this is about what? Else with a loops. So I have shown you only about while loop. We can also use with for loop also. Okay, just I will take that example. With a for loop I am going to consider one small example. So for I am going to take I in range of, I will take some 100 for example. So I will divide this one with 10. If I modulo 10 equal to 0, that means what? It is going to give you only I divided by 10 means what? Multiples of 10. Print of I, right? Here in for loop I am going to write this one. After this I am going to write some else statement also. Okay, in else what I am doing? Pass. So 1 minute, sorry. Else case, okay. What I'm writing? I'm going to write pass here. Right, see here. What happened? 0 to 90 is printed. So what is the reason here? Here we are not going to have any break statement. For example, okay, sorry, we should write about this else. Here I will write some print statement. For example, print. Here we have to understand, is this else is for if or for? We have to understand. If I write this else here, it will be for if. If I am going to write this else here, it is for. So what happens here? I will take a small okay, I will just take 2 here, then you can understand. If I write else here, see, observe here, if I write else here, just here it is going to print what? Once even numbers, it will print here even numbers, and it is going to print, I will write just odd. It will not print the odd numbers, it will just print what? Odd. See, 0, odd, 2, odd, and so on. Now that means what? If this condition is going to be failed, it will come to else case. That means what? This else belongs to this if. But now if I'm going to write this else case here, that means what? It belongs to for. When this else is going to be executed, this else will be executed only when break statement is not executed. Okay, this is else block or the else for loop. This will be executed when the break is not executed in a for loop, then this else is going to be executed. Let us see the output. So else for loop is executed. Reason is what? No break is there. For example, here I will write a break. For example, if I equal to 8, I equal to 8, I will write what? Break. Then what happens? It will print only up to 6, 0 to 4, 6, and it will apply break. Then what happens? Else will not be executed. Sorry. Right. Now see. What happens? 0 to 4, 6 only it is printed, because what? 8 it is going to apply break. That means what? In a for loop, I have executed break here, so else will not be executed. Okay, so this is very important point to understand. Else can be applied to for loop and also while loop. Whenever break statement is not going to executed in while or for loop, then only else statement will be executed. Okay, so one more point we have to understand. This rule is applied only for break, not for continue. This rule is only for break, not for continue statement. Once again, I am repeating, when we can apply else for loop and also for while loop, when this else is going to be executed, if break statement is not executed, it is not executed in the loops, then only else will be executed. If break statement is executed in the loops, then this else is not going to be executed. Okay, right. Now this is about else with loops. So one more point we have to remember is what? Continue. This rule is not applicable for continue. This is applicable what? For only break. Now one more statement I want to discuss, that is what? Del. Very important. Right. Now see, del statement or del keyword, let us consider del. So del is nothing but what? Delete. Okay, del is nothing but what? Delete. So first I am going to show you, when we are going to create, what is the need of deleting? If I don't require that one, I have to delete that one. For example, a equal to 5. Okay, if I print a, what is going to be happen? 5 value is going to be printed. How it is going to printed? Because internally for a, see here, a equal to 5, if I write, internally what happens? A is going to point to an object which contains 5 value. Now after that I am going to perform some operations. A plus 6, for example, it is going to give you 11. And next I want to use B value some 56, C value some 36. Now I don't want A now. The usage of A is completed. But generally what we will do, we will leave it as it is. That means what happens? Until your program is completed, A value is what? A value is pointing to this location. That means this memory is not released. This memory is not released. So to release this memory from A, I have to apply what? Del keyword. Okay. That means what? After using a variable, generally what we are going to do, we are leaving that particular variable without deleting. So it is highly recommended to delete that variable. Okay. If it is not required for you, if it is not required, better to delete that one. So if you are going to delete, what happens? That memory is going to be freed. If that memory is free, I can use that memory for other variables. So it is recommended to delete that. Let us, I will show you a small example how to apply that one. So just I will take one variable x equal to 20. So just I want to print x. Now see, just I will execute this program. You can observe what x value is going to be printed. Now the usage of x is completed. I don't want x now. Just remove that one. Del x. Now what happened if I execute this one? Just it will print 20 and memory that 20 is going to be, sorry, that x is going to be deleted. Sir, is it really deleted? Let us see. Print of x. So now what it will say? Here it knows what is meant by x because x is present here. So that x value will be printed as 20. No problem. Next, what I am doing? I am going to delete that x. That means what happened? X will not be available now. Reason, I have deleted that. So if I try to use that x, what happens? It is going to give you an error. That is what? Name error. What is that? Name x is not found. You may think that, sir, I have declared here, sir, why it is showing it is not available? Reason is I have deleted here. Whatever the variable you are going to create, that is going to be deleted. Which error we are going to get? Name error. That means whatever you are asking, that is x, this name is not available with me. That is nothing but what? Name error. Okay, this is a small example. Next, I can delete entire object, but I cannot delete individual things. That is what I'm going to take x equal to Shiva. Just I want to print what is meant by, so what is the content of x? What it is going to print? It is going to print entire string. I want to print s of, for example, s of 0, 1, 3. I want to print 3. Now what will be the output of this program? It is going to print yes, and it is going to print a. Sorry, it is going, sorry, align to print s. Okay, this is x. So let us modify this one as yes. Okay. Now see, what will be the answer? It is going to print Shiva and A. Now the concept is, if I want to delete s of 3. That means what? I want to delete only one element of string. It is not possible. If you try to do that, it is going to give you what? String object does not support item deletion. We cannot delete it. Okay. So if we want to delete, what do we have to delete? We have to apply entire object. Now what happens? See, the program will be executed successfully. Now after using this one, after deleting, if I try to use yes, what happens? Again you are going to get what? Name error. So this is about del. Del means what? Here we have understood one thing, that what is that thing? If you are going to delete an object, sorry, if you are going to delete an object, no problem, entire object will be removed. So if you are trying to remove an individual location of that object, it is not possible. In this case it is not possible. Reason is what? It is immutable object. String is what? Immutable object. So we cannot delete variables which are pointing to immutable objects. Okay, but we can, so see, we cannot delete the elements present inside immutable object. If you want to delete entire thing, you can delete. If you want to delete s, no problem. If you try to delete s of 3, what happens? We are going to get what? An error. Already we have seen here, that is what? S of 0. If you try to delete s of 0, what happens? str object does not support item deletion. Reason is what? It is immutable. We cannot change that one. That is the reason we are going to get an error. So now one small doubt you may get that, sir, in previous when we are seeing about data types, there we have seen about none, sir. There we have seen what? None. So can we differentiate between none and del? Yes, we have to understand the difference between these two. Compulsory, we should understand about none and del. So see here, a equal to 5 I am going to take. Then what happened? For a, some memory is going to be allocated and 5 is going to be stored. Now, after using this a, for example, I want to print this a, and after that, the usage of a is completed. Just I will do what? Del a. That means here what happens? Entire this a will be removed and this location also will be removed. This has to be understood compulsory. So a is going to be removed and this object is also going to be removed. But if you are going to consider none, so see here, s Shiva is there, for example, and I'm going to print s. Okay, Shiva will be printed. The usage of s is completed. I want to make it as a none. I don't want to delete. I want to make it as a none. Now what happens? I make s as a none, but I have not deleted that one. That means what happens means initially it is what? Shiva is there. Now s is pointing to Shiva here in this case. So if I print s, it is going to print what? Shiva only. But now what I am doing here, s equal to none. If I print here s, let us see what happens. So what I'm s is pointing to what now? None. That means s will not point to this one. If nothing is pointing to this object, it will be removed. So now s is pointing to what? None. Here the answer will be what? None. Here the answer will be what? Shiva. So compulsory this difference should be understood by you. Okay. So one thing you have to understand, because internally we know about identities also. Okay. So I will show you about that. So first I will show you about the example differences between del and none also. Right. So I will take a small this program I will show you. Once again I will show you. Okay, what happens here? Here we are going to get an error because the object is deleted. Now I am going to use what? I don't want to use this del of s. I want to use s equal to none. Now if I print this one, there will be no error. Reason is what? Initially s is pointing to Shiva. After that I used that one. That means I want to print that. I have printed that. Now I don't want the object called as Shiva, so that I am making it as what? None. If I print it, there will be no errors. We will get what? None. So this is the difference between none and what we can say and del. So one small point I have to discuss. Whenever we are going to apply del, both reference, for example, this is called as reference and object, both will be deleted. But when I am going to apply some s equal to none, for example, first I am going to write what? S equal to Shiva, for example. Here what happens? Initially s is pointing to some object which is having some Shiva. Now what I am doing here, I am making initial s is pointing to what? Shiva. Now s is pointing to what? None. That means this is not pointed by anyone. If it is pointed by anyone, then that example also let us see. It is pointing to what? None. That means what? In the case of none, only object will be removed, not reference will not be removed here. But in the case of del of a, what happens? Both reference and object will be removed. Okay. So I will take one more example. Then you will get a clarity on this one. Right. Sir, if I am going to write s, let us take s1, s2, some example s2 also I want to take Shiva. So what happens if I take same string? Then if you take same string, all will be pointed to same. So let us see whether it is pointing to same or not. So I want to see ID of S1. So first I will show you IDs. So ID of S1, and I want to show you ID of S2 and S3 also. S2. Now what can you understand here? All will print the same IDs. Reason is what? Because all strings are same, so all IDs are same, all identities are same. Now the concept is, you may get, I will apply both delete and none on this one. Now what happened? S1, this is an object, S2 and S3 all are pointing to a single object. This is that object. Now I want to delete this one. Listen carefully. I want to delete, otherwise I will write, okay, delete S1. Now what happens? If you write delete S1, you may think that what? S1 and Shiva will be deleted, you may think, but S1 will be deleted. Only S1 will be deleted in this case. The reason is, if I am going, listen carefully, in before case what I have done, if I write delete S1, I told you what, this will be removed and this will be removed, because here only this object is pointing by S1 only, so that both reference and object will be removed. But this object is pointing by whom? 3 different references. Then what happens if I remove this one? If I delete S1, it should not be affect to other references. So what happens? S1 only will be removed and S2 and S3 will be present. So if you want to see that, just I will print here. After deleting S1, I want to print S2 also. If you want to print S3 also, no problem. So what happens? No problem, it is printed. Okay, if you try to print S1, then there will be a problem, because I have deleted that one. Okay, see, then you get a error. If you print S3 also, no problem. Okay, right. So only for S1 we are getting the problem. This is about a delete. Let us say, take, instead of delete, I will write what? None. Instead of delete, I will write what? None. Now the case is what? S2 will be, same example I will consider. Here what happened? Here I am not deleting this one. I am making, before it is pointing to this one, now I am making it as what? S1 as none. That means what? It is not, I am telling that it is not pointing to anyone. So if I print S1, it will return you what? None. If I print S2, it will return you Shiva. If I print S3, it will return Shiva. Okay, right, I have written already this code. Now see, so first is what? S3 and S2 is what? S3 and S2 is Shiva, and S1 is what? None. Okay, so this is about differences between delete and none. So in next session we are going to start str data type in detail, string data type in detail. We are going to see all the methods of str, and in detail we are going to see about that data type, and also about list and different data types also we are going to see in detail. Okay, thank you.